Good morning. It rained so horrible. Oh my goodness. You won't believe this. Look.
I see it. Oh, yeah, I see that.
We have to stop that. What do you think?
Yeah, so it's gonna go over the fence.
That is crazy. Well, yeah, I'm probably just gonna, um, I'm gonna have to cut it. What do you think?
Yep. Oh, look how fat squash. Oh my goodness. These are busy. Oh, blame them. Oh, these flowers got to be busy too.
They need to be busy inside that beehive. Beehive busy.
See that eggplant growing.
Yeah, I have to cut that. It was that lightning. That lightning made everything grow even more. Wow. Now, you don't even smell it, do you? Huh?
No.
I know.
Mm-mm.
Don't even smell it. You should plant some tomatoes in it.
I'm still eating that corn. Oh, fell over.
What happened?
I gotta get a clip. Another tomato fell over. They're right by the door.
What's with these tomatoes falling over? Oh, look at it. Or did it get
And that had to
pulled
hurry up
over?
too. Well, the rain may have, because it was pretty bad. In fact, there's two of them that fell over. Or is it? No, that is just curved up. Let me get a clip, because tomatoes leaves are not supposed to touch the ground. They're real susceptible to disease.
Hey, girls. What are y'all doing? Having some corn? Was the corn good? Oh, my goodness. So where did the glass come from? Some glass over here. Did you break glass?
No, nothing good.
It's glass.
No, I got it covered from the rain. It's glass in there. For some reason, glass inside of it.
No.
Yeah, they got it covered from the rain. I don't know if you can see a lot of washing over
Mhm.
here.
Mhm.
That's smoothing out because there was so much rain, torrential rain that came this way. It flowed down here
Mhm.
and then covered it from the ground.
Mm.
All these tomatoes.
I know.
And then that chocolate milk is starting to take over there.
Yeah, it was kind of risky putting chocolate mint in there, but you know I like chocolate mint tea so much, and even though I didn't want it to take over the whole bed, at least it's kind of contained.
Mm-hmm.
Kinda. I need to start making some tortilla tortilla chips for the salsa. You want the camera?
Uh,
No.
no.
Believe it or not, I did not plant these tomatoes in here. They just popped up. Because basically, this bed was going to be just strawberries, a few herbs, and because I'm extra, I did put some lettuce in here. But tomatoes popped up. Lots of tomatoes. Rose bushes. What is that? 14 feet tall?
Yes. Yes.
And you know what's surprising? These tomatoes that popped up over there, they are doing rather well in the shade.
Mm-hmm.
Strawberries to be. Strawberries. Lots of strawberries. 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 Lots of strawberries. You know, maybe we should take some silicone and just put it where the little nails are. What do you think? No?
Yes.
Is it dry in there?
Yes. Get it.
Okay. What's that?
Okay, that was unexpected. It's drying.
Why did that happen?
That's a good question. There's these real tiny nails in there. Oh, it looks warped too.
Really?
Fix that. Everything else is tight. This is tight. It's dry in there. All that's dry.
It's like you cannot pull enough weeds. You just can't.
Is that tomato trying to root while growing straight up? You see it on the side?
Mm-mm. Oh, look at that. Can y'all see this tomato? What it's doing? That's so unusual. Wow. Tomatoes are amazing. You can't even get over there, man. You gotta do something about all that.
That bucket had brown water in it too, but behind the creek, let's flip it over and turn it upside down.
Mm.
I don't understand why the rain is coming down. It's
So you didn't have anything in there that was brown?
brown. Nope.
The rain was brown. You sure?
Yep. Some things have no front that have rain brown. I dip into.
Oh, I didn't even see this. Random.
What's that, celery?
Looks like celery.
Like the good ones are brown, the good ones are hard. You go in there.
Every time I try to sing that song, I just mess it up. But just hearing you sing it makes me want to sing it, and I know I'll mess it up. It's gonna be horrible.
peas don't actually plant with potatoes. Not like to be plants with potatoes.
Ooh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, girl. You was looking so cute up there. Trying to help you out. Ooh. Ooh. Sully, you have your clips on you?
Yeah, you need some.
Can you keep this on the plants? Is all
No, this plant.
on the plants.
Okay.
You can record whatever you want. I don't care. You don't want to record?
No, everything's cool. Seems like you pretty much covered mostly everything. All I know is I can't wait until these elderberries are done, because this woody elderberry is going to be very valuable. This is one. This one over there. This is one right here. There's one right here. So along, and there's also one coming out here. So along with what's going on with this pumpkin coming across and taking over everything, this elderberry is spreading out pretty much too, and a lot of it's turned brown. And if we were lucky enough, I can still see the top. Little itty bitty top right there in the elderberry bunch, or the rootstock, is where it started from, and then grew all of this. There's some elderberries growing. There's some back there that you can barely see, and then there's a whole bunch growing right here, just from that little itty bitty piece of wood stock that was cut from the elderberry in the front of the house, which is also growing a whole bunch of elderberries on it like crazy. And then there was another one kind of rogue we planted, didn't know it was going to grow. But look how tall this one got. Over 6 feet tall. That's another one. And it must have been young because it didn't develop any flowers nor grew any elderberry. But next season, we're going to have elderberries all over it. All over it. There's the other elderberry plant. I wonder why it didn't grow any flowers this season. Did have one that was in this void right here where there are raspberries growing. Hey, this bee busy pollinating some flowers. It's one of the male flowers of the pumpkin. There's an elderberry that was right here, but unfortunately something happened to it. I don't know if it has anything to do with this raspberry plant. See the raspberries that hadn't ripened yet, or the overtake of this particular elderberry, because all of a sudden out of nowhere all of the limbs went blunt. It could also be because, hey, there's a blueberry plant down here too, and ripening blueberries there and there. And some down there. Wait, there are more over there. So we got blueberries ripening, elderberries ripening, raspberries ripening. If I can get past the lady, I can show you some blackberries that's ripening. These here are blackberries. So this is pretty much a berry patch. You have blackberries. There's more blackberries back there. Raspberries over here. I'm eating off of these every day. Like that juicy one right there. Wait till I come out and gather some eggs this evening. I'll be eating me some raspberries. I planted these kohlrabi over here a while ago. Hoping that they would start to thicken up like the one I got over there. The leaves are getting big. I'm wondering if, since the caterpillars and other pests like it, would the leaves of these kohlrabis also be good to eat? I'll do a little research and find out. Because I know there's some other leaves that are good to eat. And that'll be these beet greens. And we got tons of them. All these beet greens. Because as large as these beet greens are, I'm sure the beets down the bottom in the ground are nice and large. Got these beefsteak tomatoes and pasta tomatoes growing over here. Got some of these peppers getting mighty tall over there. Oh, I see some purple flowers. Let me see if I can zoom in on that. A little too blurry there. Oh, there's some purple flowers over there. He's still busy. And this corn is growing tall and tall. Dropping all of this dust on everything. See some tomatoes developing in there. See some down there. And it hasn't come up, but it's coming up. These here with the leaves all eaten up on, it's going to produce some nice okra. That's all okra right there. Oh, look at the flowers out there. These here, pinto beans. They're vining and growing all over the place. Anybody know anything about pumpkin? Pumpkin produces two types of flowers because it's a part of the cucurbit family. Cucurbits have two types of flowers. They have male flowers and they have female flowers. That's why it's so important for pollinators to come in and pollinate them. This particular flower here is one of the male flowers of the pumpkin. I said, well, Coach, how do you know that's a male flower? There's a bee about to go in the pollen. Go ahead and do your thing, B. I'm not bothering you. This here is a male flower. It's where you get pollen from. How do I know? Well, if you look at the stem, that stem there, it opens about 2 days. That stem right there is an indicator it's a male because I noticed that there's no fruit at the end of here. So that's a male flower. Let's see if we can find a female flower so we can also see the distinction. Go through here. See any female flowers opening. It would make sense to have the male flower. Don't have any female flowers. Let's see. Let's find a female flower. A whole lot of male flowers. Male flowers. These smaller flowers are cucumbers. And you see that one there is a male. This one you know is a female cucumber flower. Because you see that right there? That's cute potential cucumber about to grow. Alright. Here's a female flower, but it's bunched up against the gate. Let's see if I can get it out of there. Oh, maybe that bee just appreciated that I opened it up for. Alright. Now, alright, that's a female flower. It's a little bunched up. I'll open her up. I say, Coach, I see you looking at the flower, the bees in there. How do you know that's a female flower? Well, if you go down and look at the bottom, see how there's a big section there? That's a potential fruit. And the bee going in there after it's been to one of the male flowers, things are falling off of its body. The pollen is falling off its body, fertilizing that flower. That fertilized flower is going to make it where once it dies off, that fruit in the bottom will start to grow and get big, turning it into a pumpkin. So that's particularly how it works. Now, if they don't get fertilized and the flower dies, you get a result similar to this right here. That there is dying off because it wasn't fertilized, and it's just going to die because the flower didn't stay able to last long enough, or it didn't get fertilized by a male flower. So that's how it works. So your pumpkin, cucumber, squash, zucchini, watermelon, cantaloupe, honeydew melon, all of those are in the cucurbit family. And in being in the cucurbit family, they all have a male and a female flower. I'm showing you these here because they only last but so long. These little stems here used to have flower heads on them. They were male flowers. They open up twice, maybe 3 times, only for a certain time period. And then after that, they just die off and fall off, and they leave these little stems. Now, this particular plant, I think I found one. The same thing happens with the female flower, like the one I showed you that died. Now, this particular plant is all over the place. I'm about to show you one that actually got pollinated. And the way that you can tell that it got pollinated, even after the flower fell off, is because of the size. I want you to look at this. Look at the size of that. That's been pollinated, and now it's going to grow. It takes a while for it to grow, if you know the size of a pumpkin. So by the fall, this will be a full-size pumpkin that I'm going to have to walk over when I walk past here, because it has gotten pollinated by the bees. Show you another cucurbit, squash. Squash is also part of the cucurbit family as well. And fortunately we have some here. These flowers that you see that are closed here, male flowers. They pollinated the squash in the bottom, as you can see that they're growing. And now you see squash growing. See that one? Apparently it's not pollinated, that's why it's growing. Same thing. It's just squash do not run a vine. They usually stay contained within the plant. These big leaves you see here are the squash leaves, and that's pretty much where you see them wherever you plant them. Pumpkin do this vining thing, and then they go all over the place. That's part of the pumpkin vine. All the way down here is part of the pumpkin vine. Up here, the tomatoes, coming across the tomatoes through the corn, are all pumpkin vines. Now, I'm not concerned about it, because all of them aren't going to get pollinated. And if it becomes too out of control, naturally we'll have to prune it. Because as you can see, there are many tomatoes growing amongst it. And we want to make sure to get as many of these tomatoes as possible. Because tomatoes can be used for so many things. These tomatoes back here, kind of late in the season, but they specifically designed for making paste. Tomato paste, tomato sauce that you put in these pastas, going along with these pepper plants. here and over here. And over here, there was a lot of things that were here that had went to seeds. We pulled them, and now these beans are vining all over here. We have tons of beans going along with the sage plant. And if you want to see what a real wabi plant that's ready to be harvested look at that right there. Look how big she is. She's done it. This here is eggplant. More vining peas. More squash. You see the squash going down there? Squash going over there. Ready for harvest. More peas vining over here. Over here, we had some of the Swiss chard. We had this not too long ago. Delicious. Corn. See the corn, the hair of the corn? I'll tell you a little secret about corn. When you go in the store, you find the corn and it start turning brown like it's doing here. You know it's ready. This here is starting to turn brown. Once it turns completely brown, because the way the corn works is, if you see these tassels up here, create this dust. Let me see if I can create dust. Oh, that one must be done. Creates this dust. The dust falls down and hits the hair. Then it goes down the hair into the cob. It creates the kernels inside here, and that's how you get your corn. So when you see corn looking nice and healthy like that, that means that corn has been pretty much fertilized by the dust. Doesn't need a pollinator, but pollinators can help if they got the dust on their bodies and they fly down to these hairs. But that's how corn grows. There's one there, the hair coming through. There's another one there. That's pretty much how it grows. Now, if you also can see through this corn, there's a vine going on. It's not a bad vine. It's a vine that's going to be growing some beans. Now, we give you one more of these cucurbits. This here will be the zucchini. Zucchini grows just like squash does. Now, if I look through here, that tall flower there, that's a male flower. You can see that it has a small stem, that's how you know. If you look at the bottom down here, let's see if I can get you a good view. Here, that's zucchini growing. And zucchini must have been pollinated because it's actually growing zucchini. So just like the squash, it stays contained in its own space. It do create these huge leaves to get the energy necessary from the sun to be able to feed it. But that's what it does. We got more of them growing over here, a little slower because it's more shady because of course it's up against this fence here. But you get the idea that zucchini. And then we got more of these peas growing through here. We also have a little more beet going through here too. You see this? This here's a beet. You're making this beet on the bottom. See the beet growing down at the bottom? That started from seed. And now that one's pretty much ready for harvest. Over here, look at some lemons. Starting to do well. And so these lemons are suffering a little bit. Lemons are heavy feeders. If you see what I have in here, it's a lot of compost that I have just sitting on the dirt that gets water. I got some eggshells, banana peel, orange peel. I got coffee grounds. You probably can't see anymore because of the heavy rains we just had. But all those have those micronutrients in them that this lemon tree just really enjoy having. I mean, this one here is probably the biggest one I have on here. That one's going big, and there's another one hiding back here somewhere. Yeah, there it is. See lemons growing on there? That's just one of them. This one here we got first. It grew a whole bunch of flowers, and I see it's about to start doing it again. For whatever reason, it might have been again because I put all this compost in, eggshells, orange peel, banana peel, and then the other thing that you can tell when a lemon tree is not really getting nutrients, you can't tell here they start to darken back up. The leaves start this yellowing. These leaves were yellow, and you can really see. In fact, you can see some evidence of that one right there. But then because I put all this down here, not only did they change their color, but they also started to give it new growth. This here is new growth, and on top of the new growth like this, there's more flowers. They don't need a pollinator. Lemons will continue to produce these lemons. See the lemons? I don't know if you can see that one. There it is. All over this tree. There's another new growth. After I put all of that down there, that's about to have some flowers coming up as well. A lot of times people say that, hey, you're in zone 6B. How are you growing citrus trees in zone 6B? Well, if you notice, wait, there's another flower developing down there too. You can see that. Yeah, there it is right there. That these trees are in pots. So what's going to happen is when the weather starts to get cool, I'm going to grab my hand truck. I'm going to carry these trees indoors for the winter, so they can continue to grow inside the house, and then the next season starts again, they come on right back out here. So I'm sure my wife is going through a lot of these already. Rogue tomato, in this rogue tomato, here's another part of the pumpkin going through. I think she shared that she planted these because the garden suffered some frost. And after it suffered some frost, she planted more, and this is what's growing. And with all the heavy rains that we've been having, they've been fed not only the stuff that I feed it over here, which is that fish emulsion and fish fertilizer 511. I put other things that we have, which is our garden waste. I mean, not garden waste, our house waste. You see inside here, there's lemons, coffee grinds, banana peels. Those also go inside of this bucket right here, which creates what's called the compost juice. I even put a little spout on there so that can happen. We have a whole cooler full, I think it's about 4 to 5 gallons on the porch for those plants. And these here we use out here. And because we have so much of it, that's why I was able to put this around these lemon trees. And for whatever reason, especially after it rains, they love it. They love it. Got another pepper plant over here. I thought it died because I had something over here that knocked it over, but it seemed like it didn't continue to do well. Along next to that is a hillbilly tomato plant. It's growing really big. It has some blooms on it, but the blooms hasn't produced any tomatoes yet, but I got a feeling that they will. And oh my, the borage really got big. Let me get a little closer look at this borage. Oh yes, look at this. These are little tiny planet fruit seed borage plants. And look at them, they're all over the place. So much so, it even covered the borage sign. Where is the borage sign at? And there could be some bee balm in there. Well, trust me, all of this is borage. And it's growing so much, it's even starting to bud. And then we got some horehound growing down here. Rather slow, but it's coming in there. Wife's raised beds. Got pea plants looking really healthy. And all these tomatoes. Whew, we see tons of tomatoes every season. One of the easiest plants, tomatoes and cucumbers. Last year my tomatoes like this with the beefsteak didn't do very well. But these look like they're doing extremely well. The big thing that happened with them, I'll share a tip, is they suffer from in-root rot. In-root rot causes the tomatoes to get these black darkened parts on the bottom of them. Let's see if that's happened with these. Nope. Nope. So I fed them some lime. They also like calcium. And in that instance, they're very heavy feeders in that. So when I feed them every month, I put lime on their roots so that don't happen. So this season, my expectation is we'll get lots of beefsteak tomatoes that are gonna be extremely healthy and not have any root rot. Beautiful. Some other things wrong with it. That pepper plant is growing peppers like crazy. And apparently have a lot of meals with those peppers in there. Beautiful. You want to come in? Okay. Okay. I had some lettuce growing over there I wanted to get to. It's still growing. I think I may still have some time to get to it. Oh, look how tall that celery is getting. That plant, that tall plant right there. That one right there is celery. They were concerned for a while. Shit, they were slow growing. Apparently they done took off. That's celery back there.
Got it.
See how hot sideways. That playing in the rain last night? Goodness gracious. Can you just keep out the truck get cleaning? Act like it's the buffet. Let's do some weeds. Then you're gonna step right in it. Oh, dirty.
You done? Okay.
Yeah, I ended it already.